some of these Mercury moment videos that something just a little project that I want to start doing, and pitching it to some of my buddies and asking them the questions of, and just fun, stupid stuff, whatever it is, but just to hear the human interest side of some of the other anglers out there. So hopefully you'll enjoy these Mercury moments.
Oh my God, this is the year of lost fish. So my most memorable fish lost at the moment would have to be 1/4 and 1/6 that cost me the cut in this tournament. I could name them for every tournament this year, but that's the most memorable one at the moment.
The most memorable fish loss for me is Pittsburgh Bassmaster Classic. I'm throwing my top water out there, and I jerk, and I have a 4-pound smallmouth come put her nose right there on it, and just go, and let's go of it. So I guess I didn't really lose the fish, but she ate it, but didn't eat it. She was a monster, 4 or 5 pounds. I catch that fish, I lose by 1.5 pounds at the Classic. It'd been a Classic, you know, what, 10 years ago that I would have won, just catch that one fish.
It goes to the first day of Bass Fest. I had about 9 or 10 pounds. It's first day of Bass Fest. I knew I needed to catch one more good one. I hook about a 4-pounder. It jumps 3 times. I get it to the side of the boat. It's coming in sideways. Got my rod up here over my head. I'm holding it, getting ready to lift the fish. Crankbait comes out. I put my hand under the fish. I go to scoop it into the boat. I hit it. It hits the side of my boat. And it comes off. 4-pounder. I missed the cut by 1 ounce. That would have called me up 3 pounds. That was my worst fish catch.
Yeah, most memorable fish loss. Well, the one that comes to mind, I didn't really lose it, but it's the bite that I had that I lost Winyah Bay by 4 ounces and had one bite my trailer off on that last day, and I only had 3 fish.
Well, it was at the California Delta last year. There's a bunch of big cruisers swimming around in this little pocket, and they're really hard to catch. I pulled out a little wacky Senko on 10-pound line, fired it out in the middle of the channel, lifted up, got like 2 big head shakes, and this thing just took up. Just right down the channel. I kick up the trolling motor 100, and I'm chasing it down the channel, and there's literally this one little clump of vines in the middle of the channel. The thing swims right into it. I still got him hooked. He's like digging and digging. I'm reaching down there. It's like pretty deep, reaching, and I can feel it just kind of like tighten up, stop. And I watched a bass, like it was all a 10 pounds swim out of that little clump of vines, like pop in his mouth and swim away. And it was just heartbreaking. By far the biggest fish I've ever hooked in a tournament. Yeah, spinning poles and 10 pounders just don't go together real well. It's hard to stop them.
The most memorable fish I lost was the Bassmaster Classic in North Carolina that Takahiro won. That was an event where, you know, if I caught this fish, it would have changed the momentum probably for the best. But instead, I lost it. It was a tough classic, and it was about 3/4 of the way through the day, and I only had like 2 fish. And I pulled up to a tree, this great big giant tree, and I said, you know what, there's got to be some fish in this tree. And I went to flipping tubes in this tree, and I caught a couple small keepers. And I told my camera guy with me, I said, there's got to be a big fish in this tree. So I said, best way to catch a big fish is tie on a jig. I tied on a jig, made a couple flips into the tree, and lo and behold, I hook about a 6 or 7 pounder. I get the fish up out of the tree, I go down to lip it, and it comes off. And you know, that was the momentum that just takes the wind out of your sails, and it just killed me. I stand up, make 4 or 5 more pitches, and lost like a 4-pounder out of the same tree. So, you know, had I caught those 2 fish, I'd have been leading the Classic that deal. Instead, it took the wind out of my sails, and definitely won't be it'll be a fish that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I wake up frequently from these reoccurring nightmares of one of the most memorable lost fish. It happened back at Amistad, the inaugural Bassmaster Elite Series tournament in 2006. We had 5 minutes to go. I could see takeoff, and I hooked into a 9+ pounder on a swim bait. And I fought this fish right to the boat. I actually got my hand on its jaw, and it went back down. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know I got $100,000 on the line. I give it some line under the boat. You know, it's real clear water. I can see everything. and it just stops under the boat. I'm like, what? And it won't budge. So I back off, and I was sitting on one of those big trees. You know, it's got all those spikes and everything in it. And the fish is kind of pinned in there, and time was ticking. I gave it just a little bit of line, and that sucker dug down even deeper. I'm looking at my clock on my graph, and I'm thinking, gosh, I gotta get this fish out of here. I've already got 28 pounds in the boat, so I know I got a good chance, but I knew with this fish I had tournament won, and I'm pulling on it, my line breaks. I run in with, seconds to go, and I ended up second place. But when you have an opportunity to win $100,000 and second place time was $31,000, that's a huge gap, especially when you're living out of your truck at the time. So yeah, I mean, I'd have to say that one haunts me to this day.
This one, still to this day, it just crushes me. It has nothing to do with a fish, really, essentially. It comes to weigh-in, California Delta 2010. Comes to the final couple guys, and I thought I had the tournament won. And everybody led me to believe that I had the tournament won. John Cruz weighs right in front of me. And he told me, I got 17 pounds or whatever. I'm like, well, if he's got 17, then I've got this one. And then I just hear in the background, I'm signing autographs as they're pulling the boat through, and I hear 20 pounds something. That's what John Cruz's weight was. And I'm like, all of a sudden, alarms went off in my head, panic mode. So my boat pulls up next, and I got to bag my fish in the boat and take them up to the scales. Well, normally we always put our bag, the Berkeley weigh-in bags, mesh bags, we put them in a live well, cover them, fill them with water, put our fish in, and then take them to the scale. So it's covered in water, saturated, dripping. I put my fish in a dry bag, and I lost to John Cruz by 1 ounce. And since then, I've been told that the bag can weigh as much as 3 ounces more being saturated in water. And I'm just thinking, what if it was a ½ ounce more? It could have triggered up a tie. I would have crushed him in a tie because I had just a wad of fish I was going to go catch. But that's one of my moments that is just, it still haunts me. It was great for John Cruz, but it sucked for me. But just thought I'd share that with you.